This is Shelley.
And this is Finn.
We're mom
and son.
And we're always trying to explain things to each other. With this podcast, we're hoping that we never have to say again, how many times do I have to tell you? Hey everybody. Clearly, this is, or welcome, I guess, not clearly. Who the heck knows? Welcome to our podcast. How many times do I have to tell you?
Another
This
edition.
is Shelley
This
and
is Finn.
Finn. Yep.
Oh, well, we already had that on the intro, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's so hard to intro this video because I want to intro, but we already introed.
Yeah.
It's summer. We haven't done this in a long time. I think it was spring maybe or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was like 3-ish months ago or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't need to pull it up on the thing.
Yeah.
But
that was a long
time ago.
Yeah. But now it's summer. I was gonna record outside and then I decided it was too loud out there and hot. But you look hot like you just came in from outside.
Yeah, biking.
I know, just came in from outside. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I was in the high 80s biking home, and then I ate some food. And I realized one reason why it's always so hot in this particular room is that I always have to have the door closed because otherwise the cat will come in and eat my my plant. Yeah. And I have the computer running. And we don't have AC. So that always makes it really warm in this particular room. Because I was trying to figure out.
Don't you have a fan in that particular room?
No, I don't.
That would really help.
The reason for that is that I'm often recording audio stuff and the fan is loud. But I think that would help. I do have
your background got lighter.
Oh, it did. I was just going to say it was mysteriously dark in the video, but it's not dark in real life. But maybe I just needed to adjust for some reason. The camera.
Now it's getting darker. It's getting darker. It's getting darker.
Yeah, well, it's getting darker in real life too now.
Oh, okay. I just thought that was so funny. I guess it's just elevated the extremes, darker or light.
Yeah. I wonder if I put like something white or something in front of the camera. No, that makes it darker, not lighter. Darn. I'll put something dark in front of it, like my phone. Does that make it lighter? No. Anyway, we're here. We're doing the podcast.
Hi. We have two topics today. And we are both fairly unprepared for both topics, considering the fact that you came up with them this morning. And I said, oh, I'll think about them on my bike ride home. And I did not think about them. But I think there are topics that we know stuff about so much that we don't have to prepare or write outlines or topics jotted down or anything like that.
Yeah. So as I was telling Mom right before we started the recording, my main goal is just to hear some stories from her that I have not heard before or have forgotten in kind of the theme of the podcast on both of these topics, in fact. The first one...
I love telling stories, so that's easy. But of course, we want you to talk too, so I'll have to think of questions for you.
Yeah, or maybe I'll think of questions for me as well. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But first topic is horseback riding, which you have a lot more history with than I do, although I do have some history myself.
Yeah.
So could you tell us how you got in, us meaning me and the viewers, how you got into horseback riding?
Yeah, sure. So my dad and his brother and father rode horses. They were, I don't know, really liked horses. I don't know really what the history was, except that I've got all these pictures of my dad on Dixie Baby, the famous horse because it was beloved by my dad. And then growing up, my sister was allergic to horses, so he couldn't get her into riding, but he could get me into riding. And the famous story is that he hired a family friend and said, let's see how long this goes for. And they expected me to stop riding in like a week or something, but I didn't. So I rode from when I was little, like let's say 6 or 7 or 8 or something until high school. So let's say 15 or something like that. And not seriously, like I have a cousin who competed seriously and another cousin who competed seriously. But I did compete just because that was the thing that you did where I grew up. You fox hunted in the winter and you did hunter jumper what is that called? Competitions, horse shows. That's what they're called. That word, horse shows. In the summer,
fox hunting. You did fox hunting in the winter?
Yeah, so I wasn't all that big on fox hunting because it's more of a big horse deal where if you're a strong person with a strong horse, you go with the hunt. And people with little ponies like me just kind of trot along behind. It's called
Ah, gotcha.
hilltopping. And I did hilltopping, where you go from the top of one hill and you watch the hunt all down below, and then you follow them after they go off. You go to the top of the
Wow.
next hill and you watch them go off. Um,
I don't
and
think I
that's
knew
all
that
I
was a
did
real
with
thing
fox
outside of like
hunting.
Game of Thrones. Like I didn't like I never thought about
Well,
anybody doing that.
it's an extremely controversial thing because it's considered, unethical for foxes.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I think that the real problem has been in England, where they do it a whole lot more, and where I think they don't have as much land, and there's all this like controversy about how you corner the foxes, and where in the US there's a whole lot more land and it's not done as much, and I don't see why it's a big deal ethically. We do bad things to animals all the time, and fox hunting is a, kind of a cultural experience that I think, deserves to be upheld, not driven away entirely. But that is not the topic because I don't know that much about that topic to argue one way or another. But yes, I did fox hunting.
So, how was the Nellie Mae farm? Like, when did that start before this or after this? You started riding horses. I mean,
Yeah, so Nellie Mae Farm. That's right. We should make that connection because that was your connection with writing. So Pam, who was your teacher, who was my teacher,
that's the same
was
person. Yeah. Okay.
in person, right? Was I think originally hired to be the babysitter for my cousins up at the Cox farm,
Hmm.
at Rose Retreat, and she taught them how to ride. And then we hired her to be my riding coach. And it was concurrent is when
Okay.
it was going on. My cousins are a little bit older than I am. But whatever. I went and picked up my first pony, Flicka, at Rose Retreat. I remember doing that at that farm. That was and before we had felled the trees and cleared the land and made a field and built the barn behind the house before we had the horses at my house. Then I would go up to Rose Retreat and ride. But then we had the barn, and I rode at my house, and I just rode whenever I wanted.
But that house was in the family before you started riding horses. Is that true?
No, Bobby and
No.
Ella Mae bought that house.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Before, yeah, they bought that house before. Whatever, that's just their house, and they had a
Gotcha.
barn, and I had a barn, and it's not as related as it might seem. Just because 'cause you'd never been to my house with a barn where I grew up.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it was
So
just
there.
behind the house, and I walked out and I did, riding lessons when Pam showed up. That would be twice a week, and then on Saturdays, we would go to a show, or if it were the winter, then, get ready for the hunt or whatever. Didn't do that often. But, that was my life from when I was little to high school of, riding 2 or 3 times a week and showing in the summer and taking care of the horses all the time.
So did Pam like go on a break until like my generation was born and she taught us all how to ride horses, or like what was she up to? Do you know?
No, she's been teaching people how to ride horses her whole life.
Oh, just not people in our exact family.
Exactly.
That makes sense. She wasn't contracted specifically like for
No, she
the
was
Coxes and Mayhews.
when right, she was earlier on when she was, teaching she was the babysitter of the Cox kids, but that's not my story to tell, but
Gotcha.
that she was explicitly theirs, um,
Did you
and then
enjoy riding horses?
yes, I won't say I was a natural. I think I was very little and scrawny and wimpy. I broke easily. I broke a bunch of bones.
Oh wow.
And I think that I wasn't like tough. I mean, I grew to be tough. I had to be after a while because Pam, made
Yeah.
you be tough.
Yeah.
Um, and so I rode because it was just what I did. It was like I was committed to it, so I went ahead and did it. And I just did it. And I never was big into I didn't love horses. I just loved the horses that I had. I had a series of
Uh,
horses that you grow out of them because you were growing pretty quickly as a kid, and I'd grow out of one horse and get another.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think. So I guess for my horseback riding experience is that I also was taught by Pam at that same place. Um, I was trying to remember if I enjoyed it or not. I think so, but I don't really remember that much. I remember also feeling kind of wimpy at it and like falling off a lot and
Yeah,
getting dragged behind the horse on a few occasions, which is not ideal.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
it's hard because the Cox cousins, you had Cox cousins you didn't know all that well who grew
yeah,
up on farm, with big animals and are tough. And it wasn't that you were wimpy. I think you were very allergic, like your
yeah.
aunt.
I was also yeah,
Um, you were sick the whole time and you were out of your element, and they were in their element. You were the minority, you were the outsider kid.
yeah,
So I think it was hard for you to feel like the big tough horse person when you weren't, but everyone else was. I mean, you guys were little. There was no tough horse person at
yeah.
all.
What I
Everyone
was
was
like,
very little.
how old was I was like 4 to 7 or something,
Yeah, not
or a little
age
older than that.
4, but
Yeah, I don't think I
nursery
was on a
school.
horse at
So
age 4 because
no, it was
we lived there when I
kindergarten.
was
Oh, God,
like
you were
four to
little.
eight or something. Yeah,
I
I
don't think
was.
it was 4, I think it was a little older, but yeah,
Yeah,
6 or 7 or something like that.
yeah,
But the
yeah,
story, I guess we need to say is the story is that this one person, Pam Otley, taught my cousins how to ride and how to swim, and she taught me how to ride. I didn't have a pool, so it's just how to ride. And then, when my cousins and I had children at about the same age, it was just odd that we were all in the same area. And so we were like, oh, Pam, why don't you teach the children? It'll be the second generation. And we called it Camp Cox because we
yep.
brought her to the farm and everybody went out and you all went riding and
Was it
then
on
you went
Fridays or
swimming.
something?
I
Do you
don't
remember the day of the
remember.
week? Nah, I think it
But
was
we went riding and
Fridays.
swimming while we all did cooking. And then we
Ah,
all sat around and ate together. And it was
yeah,
really very nice.
yeah. I remember learning swimming from Pam as well. I remember, or yeah. And I remember learning about how to go into the water when the horseflies came around, and I always associated that with the horseflies being there because we were also learning how to ride horses, which I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe. Um,
Well, the pool was out on a farm
yeah,
with cows and horses and, straw everywhere and to flies. So actually related.
yeah, I think so. Um, what else was I thinking about? Do you remember the last time that you have ridden a horse?
Um, I went with friends at Jasper National Park, which was just like a couple of years ago on a trail ride. That was Western, which I'd never ridden before, I don't think.
Did
Um,
you still like remember it, like riding a bike situation?
No, in fact, and the horse that I was on was kind of a pain in the butt. She really wanted to ride up on at the horse in front of her, like
Mm.
obnoxiously, and the horse in front wanted to turn around and bite her. And any time that I pulled her in tightly, she would kick because she was mad about being like she was just
Oh,
grumpy. I think you never let those people know that you've ridden because they give you the grumpy horse. And she was just very hard to deal with.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
I rode a horse most recently at the most recent Lake Anna trip, which was at this point many years ago. Um, but
Why did you ride a horse at Lake Anna?
it's something they have there. They have like a horseback riding there,
Oh,
just
cool.
like through the woods. And I was surprised to remember I still remembered how to do it, which I just totally did not believe I knew how to do. I'm like, oh, it's been however many years, like 15 years or something since I learned horseback riding. I don't think I'm going to be able to remember how to do this. And then I did. So that was nice. That made me want to ride horses again at some point.
Do you know that old, I don't know, 1940s song, maybe Back in the Saddle Again?
No, I don't know that.
Something where a horse is a horse and a friend is a friend. Something about the Wild West. I don't know. I'm back in the saddle again. It's just, I don't know. I always used to sing that when I like didn't ride for a week or something, and then I'd get back in the saddle, and it always felt so good. It felt so natural. Like here I am, and then I start singing back in the saddle again. Of course, I can't remember the tune of the song. That's how long it's been, but yes. So I'm glad that you had that experience, even though it wasn't really a part of your life. It feels kind of ancestral, like a part of
Yeah,
your
that was part of
family
my life for
heritage from
like
my side of the
3 years or something. It was like
yeah.
something I did for a while. Yeah, yeah, it feels just like one of the things in my childhood.
I feel very, very guilty about those years of you being so allergic while you were riding and
Oh,
so miserable. And I was just thinking that, I mean, I don't know if I was there, I wasn't there or something. I can't remember what my excuse is. But Pam would say, Shelly, he's really sick. You need to do something about this kid. You were just like sneezing over and over and over and over and over and over, just like you were gonna fall off the horse sneezing, just miserable. And finally it wasn't until like the middle of all these lessons, like, 10 lessons in with 10 more to go or something, that that I decided to give you, Sudafed or something, whatever it was, and you felt a whole lot better after that, and you could actually focus on what you're doing, and you weren't gonna die. But I don't know why I didn't catch on to that earlier.
I don't know.
I'm
Well, I
sorry.
remember having a good time uh,
Good.
in general. I do remember a lot of sneezing, but I don't think I was like
That's a
majorly
lot of
suffering.
sneezing.
Yeah,
You were so allergic. Are you
yeah.
still allergic to horses, do you think?
No, uh, last time I saw a horse, I was not allergic to the horse. Um, and at Lake Anna, I wasn't
Good.
allergic to the horses there.
Yeah,
I am still
good.
allergic to cats, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I have been allergic to cats on and off all my life, but your aunt was allergic to horses, and then wasn't later on in her
Yeah.
life. She grew out of it. So, thing.
Anything else we want to talk about horse related?
No, I wish I could come up with stories. You remember you rode Oreo was the name of the pony,
Yep.
because it was a pinto, because my uncle had a thing for pintos. Um, and let's see, we lived on the farm, so we walked out
Yeah.
to Camp Cox, which was nice. Um, And when we all ate together, it was a whole heaping bunch of people because it was my three cousins who were alive and all their kids, and sometimes spouses. Um,
I remember there was
and
that Dalmatian
then,
there too. What was his name?
yeah,
Joe. Yeah, I remember him.
Joe didn't like Jack.
Oh,
Um, Joe pinned Jack down once and got him. And there was, let's see, we used to go swimming. We would meet your dad after work, sometimes at the pool, and I would have a picnic dinner, and we would sit at the side of the pool because it was just us at Nellie Mae's pool, and no one else would be there, and it would be fun to swim and have dinner sitting beside the
oh,
pool.
that's
I don't know
nice.
if you remember that. Yeah,
No, I don't think I do.
I don't think it happened very often, but I enjoyed it so much I probably inflated it in my imagination. But how nice it was to do that. It was a very, very good experience, in our lives. Melanie came through for us when we needed a place to live, and
Yeah, yeah,
we ended up with a magical place.
yeah, totally. Um, let's talk about our
Should we
second
move on?
topic,
Yeah, let's move on.
which is Star Trek, which I realized we've already talked about a little bit when we talked about tattoos, but we didn't talk about it very
Oh,
much. And I realized
I
I still had
wondered
some
about that.
questions.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
how did you get into Star Trek? Because I didn't know if it was dad or you who introduced it to the family, or both.
No, that was my family thing again. My mom loved Star Trek when it first came out, and my dad didn't really like it all that much. And so, I mean, she watched it. It was, just 2 seasons, right? She watched
Yeah,
it when it came on in the evenings, once a week or whenever it was that Star Trek come on. But then, and then went to see the movies when they came out, but it wasn't until they came on in reruns and then Next Gen came out that my mom was just a huge Star Trek fan, just massively. She used to own the DVDs of all the movies and all the Next Gen, and then she's every Star Trek that there was, she watched them over and over. She loved them. That was, she could quote everybody. She loved the actors. She loved the actors' names. She, knew
yeah. I
who
remember
wrote all
she
the
loved
episodes.
that the name Nana Visitor, right? That was one of her
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
names. Yeah,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
just remember that. Yeah.
So,
Um,
that was drama.
do you remember what her favorite show was? Was it Deep Space Nine?
No, Picard. She loved
Next
Picard.
Gen. Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just for us. for next gen to come out and to so it was just like, oh my god, they're going to do Star Trek again. Like, how could they, you
Uh-huh.
know, improve upon that? That was just perfect. And then here comes Picard, and he was brilliant, and the whole thing was just wonderful. It evolved so beautifully in front of our faces. It was just magical. So it was kind of like it had that element of emotionalism because
Yeah.
it was such a surprise that it could be done well. That I think no one can shake that who first experienced it.
I'd like to rewatch the old shows at some point because I've never really done that. I think I
Your
watched them,
original series?
any of the ones pre. Well, I've only seen any of them once, in fact. Um,
Oh,
but the like, so I guess my history with it, right, is that I watched it all of it growing up, uh, and we're almost caught back up, Mom and me. I think we have one or two seasons or something.
yeah.
Um, but did
Discovery and yeah,
yeah, the last season of Discovery and then the ongoing season of Strange New Worlds.
right.
Um, did you watch it growing up, or oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
my mom.
with grandma? Yeah, okay, that makes sense
Yeah,
because I was trying to do the timeline. Uh,
we watched everything together.
right, because so Star Trek the original series started in the '60s, right?
Right.
So was your first Star Trek the next gen then, or did you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So grandma had already seen the original series and then introduced you to that, but then you watched next gen like while it was coming out.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you know if Dad had seen it at all before you and he got together?
I'm sure he'd heard of it, but I don't think he watched it like he liked it particularly. But I think if you know me, you have to watch Star Trek because I just always turn it on.
Gotcha.
I was texting with my friend Jess the other day. She's in Canada, and she's like, I'm watching Voyager with my daughter. I can't talk to you right now." Just it's just a thing. You just turn it on. So I will tell you that Pluto, the streaming channel, has a Voyager channel and a Deep Space Nine channel. Sometimes they switch them out, an original series and next gen. And they have it. They have sometimes they have it on live, and sometimes they'll have it on on paper, not pay per view, but pick whatever that's called, streaming as you choose to watch.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but right
Stream it.
now
Yeah.
the evenings they have original series on live. And so there's something magical about turning on the TV and being forced to watch what's on that you've never probably
Yeah.
experienced. But
No,
I
no,
and
I
Tracy
have.
will like cable, I guess you've
Yeah.
experienced cable TV. Yeah. So Tracy will go to bed, and I'll get my robe on, and I'll sit in front of the TV with my blanket and turn on the original series live and see what's on. And I'll be like, "Oh, Tracy, it's such and such episode," and he'll be like, "I remember that when this and that happens." He goes downstairs, and then he goes to bed because he doesn't want to see him over and over. Every now and then he'll sit there for a few minutes. But like last night was the original, was that pilot episode that didn't get released right away, where Majel Barrett is number one,
Oh
and
yeah.
Spock has emotions. It's really a fantastic, bizarre episode. It's a
I
two-parter.
can imagine.
But so that was on, so I got him for a little bit to sit down with me. But for the most part, I will stay up way past my bedtime, way past it when it's reasonable, because the house is all dark and I got Star Trek on and I'm all cozy and relaxed, and I have a snack or something. I'm eating ice cream, something decadent, and just really enjoying myself. I really recommend streaming live the original series late at night. It is just the perfect evening, to ease you into going to bed type of thing.
It's nice too to not have to like to be able to just put it on and not have the choice, of what particularly to
Yes,
watch. Just be like, all right, we're on the Star Trek channel. I guess just the idea of
yes,
channels is kind of nice, but somehow,
yeah. No,
I don't
there's this
know.
whole thing that David Foster Wallace does in Infinite Jest about the glory of not having a choice when you're watching old TV. Just how that frees you up from decision making and allows you to just appreciate what you're being funneled into your brain,
Yeah,
entertainment wise. You can
we
just
when I was at the music festival, was that last week or the week before last? I guess it ended last week, or we got back last week. We were in the different hotels at different points, and we kept on putting on Boomerang. You know that channel?
No, I don't know that.
It's just broadcasts old cartoons, mostly from like Hanna-Barbera.
Oh,
So there
oh,
was Scooby-Doo, like the original Scooby-Doo. There was the Jetsons, the Flintstones, that kind of stuff. And
mm,
that was what we turned on every time we were at a hotel and had a TV. So I watched a good amount of the Jetsons, the Flintstones, and Scooby-Doo in the last like few weeks. And it
mhm.
was nice to just like turn on that channel and watch that.
Yeah, it's just like entertainment straight to your brain without having to be like, oh,
Yeah.
what are we going to watch? Do you agree? Have you ever seen that before? Where were we last? You
And
know,
I don't have to
all
think
this.
about like, oh, am I like, is this exactly what I want to be watching or not? It's just like, well,
Right.
it's on Boomerang. It's what's going on. We're probably not
Yeah.
going to find another channel, so I'll
Right.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think it makes your enjoyment better when you are forced to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow. Uh, I'm trying to think of other Star Trek things. So, what was it your idea to that as a family we would just introduce me to Star Trek and just watch through, or
I think it was, but here I am taking credit for everything. Horses, all me. Star Trek, all me. But I think it was because we were like trying to figure out. We wanted to watch TV with you, but we hadn't introduced you to TV very much at all,
uh,
except for just like PBS. But it's nice when you're working, we're working, your dad and I are working, and our brains are dead, and you're tired from school to be able to turn on TV at night again and just wipe the slate clean, just to enjoy a little bit of entertainment without having to work at it because all day long has been so much hard work. So we're like, what can we watch? I'm like, well, Star Trek is original series is extremely um, easy for children. It's kind of cut and
yeah,
dry, good guys and bad guys. There's no overt topics that should not be addressed for a child's point of view. So I thought logically it would make a good choice. And I think it evolved from there into us both watching Star Trek with all the Star Treks with you the whole time, and the way that it worked out so that we hit the end of the all the Star Treks available at your graduation
yeah.
time,
That
or
was
you're going
very
off
good
to college.
timing
That was just totally coincidental. It worked out very
because
well.
we watched it. We start with the Netflix discs, or was there another format that we watched it in at the very beginning?
I don't remember. I'd forgotten, in fact, Netflix discs.
Yeah, they
Um,
because Netflix right used to do these discs where they'd have 4 episodes on the disc and they would have it in the LCARS like style in the DVD select, right? And we would do it
yeah,
like 2-ish episodes a weekend or something like that.
yeah. I don't remember
And
how
we'd
we
send the discs
scheduled that.
back and then we get them in the mail again. Yeah. And then it was you just watch them on Netflix. And now it's you watch it on Paramount Plus.
Right, the new ones on Paramount Plus, but like I said, Pluto has all
Pluto's
the
the
Star
old
Trek.
ones.
It's
Yeah,
not all the
yeah.
Star Treks, but I think they've got like 4 channels that they dedicate to Star Trek, and they'll rotate which Star Trek gets which channel. Sometimes, there is no Deep Space Nine at all, and
Uh,
sometimes there is no Next Gen at all or whatever, because there's
uh,
so many Star Treks that they don't give them all the channels all the time, but they move it around. It's
yeah.
it's it's really nice. I feel like
Um
I'm being paid by Pluto.
what other Star Trek things can we talk about? We already talked
Yeah, I
about the
wanna ask you
tattoos.
more topics. Yeah, I want you to talk more because I feel like I've hogged all the podcast time.
I'm trying to remember
I
the
wi
my oh, what's that?
I was just wishing I just the minute I say that, I think of something I wanna say. That I was at that music festival last week, the weekend before last, and that guy had this beautiful Enterprise tattooed on his ankle. It was just so simple, the lines, and with a little like it was movement lines, like, "Ooh, it's going in this direction." It was just perfect on his ankle, and I just walked up to him and I just showed him my tattoo, and he was with this group of guys, and they were all like, "Ah, look at it!" And it was just hilariously wonderful. I wish he'd been there.
Me too. Me
That's all.
too. I was just thinking about what I enjoyed about it when I was growing up because that was something I definitely remember enjoying totally thoroughly. In contrast to horseback riding, which I remember enjoying, but I remember also sneezing a lot. But uh, I liked the ships a lot. I liked the characters. I liked the adventures and the mysteries
Yeah. I
in the
liked
original
watching it
series
with
in Next Gen.
you. I liked being able to talk about it with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I like talking about it with you
yeah.
all as well. That was good, and that's something
Deep-
you and I still do
Yeah.
is watch Star Trek and talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like there's a bit less to say on the modern ones because they're not as much like speculative fiction. You know, it's not like big thinker
Right.
episodes. It's more just kind of standard TV stuff, serialized.
Right. I mean, those Deep Space Nine last two seasons were so complexly, mind-blowingly challenging
Yeah,
in terms of how to even wrap your head around what to think. This character. Oh my God, how can they? Oh, it was a whole lot. So that was
yeah,
enjoyable. No, no Star Treks have even come close enough
yeah,
to DS9 in terms of fun complexity to discuss.
yeah, for sure. Um, I think that might be. I'm trying to think of just anything
Mm.
else we can talk about with regards to Star Trek because I feel like there's a lot. It's just nothing is coming to me.
Well, I mean, I feel like we have not been to a Star Trek convention. We haven't been
Oh,
to like the Las Vegas. I don't know. Aren't there Star Trek like rides or themed
oh, at like
like
at
parks or something?
yeah,
There's
I
a there's
think there might
a
be some
tour
at
like
Universal,
ship. What is that called?
like a
Uh,
replica.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when you go on a cruise. There's like a
Oh,
Star Trek cruise,
I didn't know that.
where, yeah, the different actors are on the ship for the cruise and, they have panels and, but you can also just like hang out with them in the bar and ask them your questions and the people I don't know, it's cool. We've never done
Yeah.
any Star Trek-y,
Well, my
geeky
roommate
thing.
has done that kind of stuff and really enjoys it. And I just thought there's I wonder if yeah, I'm gonna run and grab one. We have something sitting over here that's relevant. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just grabbed one, but this is something that Alyssa got at the Star Trek convention is all these Star Trek alcohols. I don't know what this is
Oh,
supposed to be.
that
It's
looks like original series.
but they're all in
Gosh,
these great glasses too.
it looks like God, what
It's
would they
a
talk about? They're always talking about Romulan.
it's from
Um,
Ryza, but it's just rosé apparently.
okay,
That's what it says on it.
okay.
It's from StarTrekWines.com.
Where did
But
she get that?
from the convention.
Oh,
Um, yeah, she
should do
really
that.
recommends that because her dad is a huge Star Trek fan. She and her dad dress up and go to the conventions. Um,
And so
maybe that isn't.
there's the we have a thing where everybody dresses up here in Madison once a year, gets on their kayaks, and everyone makes a flotilla of 100 or 200 people or however many it is, all on their kayaks, and they're all dressed in some kind of theme. And Doug said that he thought we should do, or Doug said it should be a theme, and Tracy said the Enterprise. That we should make a replica of the Enterprise out of cardboard, put it on our kayaks or paddleboards or something and wear
Yeah,
Star Trek costumes and go down because we didn't see any Star Trek costumes the last time we saw so many great themes, but no Star Trek. So that would be a way to do it.
yeah,
I am
that
just so
sounds like a
bad
great
at planning
idea.
those kind of things. It just seems like so long from now. And then what'll happen is it'll be 1 week beforehand and I'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
anything.
I know that
And
experience.
so regretful. But yeah, that would be a cool way to put that into action on a small scale if we
Yeah,
could do that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but a big skill would be to go on a Star Trek cruise. That would be the only kind of cruise I would ever go
I would
on.
love to do that. I know you're a cruise hater, but
I am.
but yeah, maybe a Star Trek cruise would be enough to bring you over to the, or at least to
Yeah,
get you on that cruise, like you said.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I've
There
never been on
are
one, so I haven't. I'm not very
like
informed.
different music themed cruises. Like you can go on a bluegrass cruise or
Yeah,
jam band cruise or something and hang out with
there's
different
a
bands that you
comedy
like.
cruise that's run by somebody who lives very close to Dad in Harper's Ferry. Actually, the Joko cruise.
Hmm. Oh,
Um, that's got comedians on it. Like the McElroys
Okay.
are always on it, I think.
All
Um,
right. Cool.
yeah, I know there are all these themed cruises.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I would do like a themed cruise. I would do any kind of themed cruise, maybe. Maybe not a comedy cruise. I don't know. Whatever. Yes, that would be a way. Star Trek would be totally fun. We should figure what we have to do is just like pick a year, like 10
Yeah.
years from now, we're gonna do it. Put it in the calendar, and then 5 years from now, check in and say, are we still gonna do it?
Yeah.
And somehow.
Something like
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Yeah. All
Um,
right.
all right, I think let's end the episode here. Anything else we
Okay.
want to talk about as we close it out?
My hair looks good.
Yeah.
I've just been noticing that. This is the first time that my hair has looked good in like months and months. That's how
Great.
I want to close. Strengthen my hair. No, I'm serious. I got a cut. I got a series of cuts I didn't like, and this is the first time that I've noticed in a very long time.
It does look good.
Yeah, thank you. That's enough.
All right. Let's
Mm,
end the
okay.
podcast here. Thanks for listening. We'll
Yeah,
talk with
thanks
you
very much,
all,
listeners.
talk at you all next
Yeah.
time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.